Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the group exhibit Hydrogen and Fuel Cells. I know it's been a long afternoon. You're probably tired, so please grab a drink. Make yourselves comfortable because we're about to talk to the CEO of SolidPower, Guido Gummert, about prices down, power up, the new solution from SolidPower. So please help me in welcoming him up on stage. Thank you so much. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Right, so we'll get started straight away. Could you please tell us a little bit about SolidPower and how the company was formed?
SolidPower was before, that means last year, SOFC Power, and together with HT Ceramics, they are a company developing SOFC-based technology, and because we were last year on the level to start deployment of our units. We decided to rename the company and to develop a brand, and we decided to go with SolidPower, with the SolidPower brand, before we start growing the company.
Excellent. So I did a little bit of research on you, and I know that you used to be in PEM and you switched to SOFC. So can you tell us a little bit about why you did the switch and what benefits you see with SOFC?
Yes, PEM technology is a very famous technology, and it is now so far developed that it has reached a commercial status. And if you have been on the last ISH, you can see that a lot of the large brands in the heating industry have commercialized their systems, and you can go there and can buy it. So therefore, it has reached a level on which I'm very proud on, because there was a time that people said, when does fuel cells come? And the answer was, yeah, in 5 years. But now you can say, hey, if you want to have a commercial system, you can go with a PEM. But this is not the end. Development continues, and therefore I'm quite happy that I found this SOFC technology, because currently nobody has reached the cost targets, and also efficiency can be increased. And with solid oxide fuel cells, there are a lot of benefits we don't have with PEM. And these benefits is the high electrical efficiency, the high temperature option, and also that we can get down on cost in a way that we can really reach cost targets without any funding. And this is, what I like on the technology.
So you've taken a challenge head on. So let's talk about SolidPower and talk about the product that is at Messe here and what it's all about.
We started with MCHP, and our MCHP system is the engine 2500 because it has 2.5 kW electricity, 2 kW thermal, and therewith it has a unique selling proposition compared with other technologies in the market. MCHP is a quite far developed market because of all the other players in that market, so that's very good. But when SolidPower was suggesting how do we get our technology to the market, we decided to go with a little bit larger plant to have a unique selling proposition, and because we see that a technology is needed to support the virtual power plant, and not only the consumption of a single family homeowner. So there must be some power available to feed back to the grid to ensure that, the power for the neighbor is available who maybe don't have a fuel cell. And furthermore, when the utilities switch off their larger power plants because of cost reason, what is sometimes ridiculous if you see the best efficient power plants will be switched off because of cost reasons, then it is absolutely necessary to have fuel cells in the smart grid to stabilize the grid. And important is that the regulation changes and you get a good feed-in tariff, which pays for your power which you feed into the grid. And you need to get paid for stabilizing the grid if you have a special cosinus fee, which is responsible for that.
So essentially, like a virtual power plant is what we're working with. So right now, I know that SolidPower's customer base is residential and small businesses. Do you plan on expanding that, or is that your target market?
The target market currently is single-family homes, because 2 kW can easily be used in a single-family home, and also during the summer period, most of the heat is used for hot water. Therefore, this is good. And these are the clients producing the power which will be fed into the grid. And furthermore, the unit is good for small commercial applications under the point of view that the unit is scalable. You can use it modular, and therefore up to 6 units can be combined to a power plant for a commercial solution, for example, a small hotel or a bakery or a supermarket or whatever. And therewith, we have a very high flexibility to create a unit especially to the needs of the commercial customer, which can be offered by a utility, for example, as a service. And new business models like leasing also can play a role with this technology. Therefore, it opens a lot of opportunities.
Okay, so and it also essentially provides a fail-safe for a business, doesn't it? Because if you have a number of these, and if, say, one was to go down, the other continue to power it, well, you can switch out one of the stacks if needed.
Our unit is for continuous operation, therefore it does not go down.
A unit that does not fail, I think I would want to buy that. So in terms of costs, let's talk about costs. I want to purchase it for my home, and I have a friend who wants to purchase it for their business, and it's a small business. What are the costs, and how would they compare to some of your competitors?
The current challenge is really to meet the cost targets in the market, and currently it's only possible with funding, and we try to think the business model a little bit differently. We have calculated if we get more than 1,000 orders that we are able to offer the system for €5,000 per kilowatt, and that means that no additional funding are necessary, because then the unit pays for itself. And furthermore, if you look to service cost, we know that you need around about €300 per annum for servicing the unit. This does not include the cell stack, and definitely with our SOFC stack, we don't have a stack which lasts a lifetime. But this is something where we made the decision that we take care on that, and that this is included. So we give a,
So just to clarify, you will switch out the cell stack that has failed and replace it at your cost.
If something happens to the cell stack, then we switch the cell stack. Therefore, this is something what we take care on currently in the Innerfield project, for example. And this is the large European demonstration project. And in that project, we want to improve the system. But that something must come afterwards, and therefore, we are looking for those who are also can think about purchasing 1,000 pieces to get these prices. I mean, yes, it's not easy to get one, or maybe more, but it's a different business approach, and to really get the cost down, it's necessary to think in that direction.
So if there was a property developer out here who was developing a new set of flats, they would be your perfect customer?
Yes.
We will point them to your booth in a bit.
Can be utilities, it can be other B2B markets. So, we are open to have further talks in this direction,
Excellent. So shall we talk a little bit about efficiency? What are the efficiencies of your system? I know that when we talked earlier, there were some exceptional numbers that you put out there, so I think people would love to hear about it.
SOFCs are very good for very high efficiencies, and if you take our stack, it is able to show 74% electrical efficiency on a test station, but if you put that stack into a unit, you have to decide, do you want to have a high electrical efficiency? For example, up to 60% are possible, but then you have a less total efficiency. But if you look to the current European regulations, you need to have a high overall efficiency, and therefore we decided to go with 90% overall efficiency, and therefore accept a little bit more than 50% electrical efficiency. From the current point of view, I think it's a very good compromise, but as soon as also the European Commission accepts that power is the higher value energy, and that this is really needed, then we can easily switch and adapt our technology to the new regulations, which hopefully come soon, because currently an Stirling engine, for example, with a very low electrical efficiency gets a higher rating in the ERP classification than high-efficient fuel cells, and this is ridiculous. And therefore, we need to work on that. We need to do stronger lobbying work. But very difficult in the discussions is always when the argument comes, this is a political decision. What do you want to say on that? That's when you start to say, yeah, it's emotional, so I cannot argue against that. Very difficult.
Fair enough. But holding on to your point about adapting, I know that right now it's natural gas or biogas that this unit uses. Do you think there is a future where it will start to look into other types of fuels to make it more accessible to people who may not necessarily have a natural gas line coming into their homes?
To have the option of bio-natural gas, which means natural gas on H-gas quality, is very good because it makes fuel cell renewable, and it's good to have that. But on the other hand, 74% of new built homes have natural gas, and 54% of existing homes have natural gas. Therefore, we have an existing natural gas infrastructure, which will help us ramping up the systems and to ensure that we can make heating more efficient in homes. And therefore, we will stick to natural gas because it's available and the potential is so high that it's enough to get to a reasonable volume.
Okay, so in that case, for the current focus, your market is Germany and the EU, and you're not trying to take over the world in one hit.
Germany is a very, very important market, but because we are located in Italy, we have currently most of our demonstrations in Italy, and therefore these two markets are very important. Furthermore, we have, under the umbrella of Ennefield, demonstrations in Slovenia and Switzerland and in the UK, and with these markets we will start.
So earlier again, when we talked, you mentioned that there is a challenge that can be converted into a very unique opportunity for the future. And would you like to share your thoughts on exactly what you would like to see for the future?
For the future, we need to continue the further development on SOFC. That's clear, and we are quite happy that we have. Planar 2 SOFC with 700 degrees Celsius, which is very, very stable, and it's good also for long-term operation. We need to demonstrate that in the field trial, that's clear. But on the product side, I see that we have to do some more, and I see also some more products which we are able to develop. We will go into a smaller size of the system in the range of less than 1 kW for those who need fuel cells in residential homes or dwellings. And we see the opportunity also to use SOFC for tree generation with power and heat during the winter period and coolant during the summer period to ensure to have the longest operational period over the year, because this is important for the economics of the system. If you compare that with internal combustion, CHP, then the economics were driven by the operation hours. And we can dramatically increase the operational hours because of the power to heat factor of our unit. And I think this is a really unique selling proposition of our solid power technology, that we have a technology which allows that. And therefore, I don't like to call it fuel cell, I like to call it energy cell, because it is really the future of energy production.
Before I ask final questions, if anyone in the audience has any questions, I'd be happy to run down the mic to you. If not, then my final question for you is the future of solid power, and where do you see it 5 years from today?
The future of solid power is definitely growth, and we have started this year with that, because with the deployment we have to invest into sales and service infrastructure. We are using local installers to create this service infrastructure. Therefore, and we have created a German subsidiary, Solid Power GmbH. So this growth of solid power has started, and we are creating a solid business with solid power, and therefore this will be the future. And if you have further questions directly after that session here, we will have a press conference for the journalists, and then you have also an opportunity to ask further questions and ask for more details, or you visit me on our booth E51 here on the booth Hydrogen and Fuel Cells.
Mr. Gummert, thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Don't go away. There's another talk coming up straight after this, and it's a discussion with David Bowe, the Senior VP of Proton on Site. He's going to be talking about their new M-Series megawatt solution for energy storage. So stay tuned.